There's a question from Anonymous. Let's keep it anonymous then.
Yeah.
He said anonymous. Let's keep it anonymous. Okay. Setting proper motivation with 3 points. Refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge fields. Visualize Buddha Shakyam and His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in space in front of us, as well as caring and embracing. And the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two kind parents, all the family members, including children, and all their sentient beings. Here in Deer Park, in India, in your own country, and in the entire universe. Say the purpose is the practice of awaken the Buddha nature, awaken the seed of perfection within us. And to awaken the seed within us, let us keep in mind that we have the treasure within us. Each one of us, whatever religion that you're following, whatever gender, we have the seed of perfection within us. And so this seed of perfection and the Acharya Nagabodhi, what he said is that the Buddhahood is not bestowed upon you by anyone, nor is the cause of the Buddhahood being held by anyone for you. It is you, by discovering the true nature of the true nature of your awakened insight, that you become a Buddha. So this is to be discovered. What is inside? What is the treasure inside us? And that treasure is obscured by the defilements, and the defilements are of two kinds. What are they? Afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. And the afflictive obscurations, they block us from attaining fearlessness, technically referred to as nirvana, and the cognitive obscuration blocks us from attaining infinite happiness, referred to as the Buddhahood. And how to get rid of these two defilements is by resorting to a very powerful remedy. And what remedy to apply is determined by the nature of the defilements. And the nature of the defilements, see that is somehow rooted in ignorance, and then offshoots, ignorance along with the offshoots of this, referred to as afflictive obscurations, and the subtle stains of ignorance and offshoots referred to as the cognitive obscurations. So given that somehow everything is connected with ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, the remedy lies in the wisdom of emptiness. And the wisdom and the ignorance, they should be directly in opposition with respect to the object of apprehension. This is what we discussed earlier. So what is that wisdom required? The wisdom of emptiness of object of existence. And this wisdom must be supported by Bodhicitta as a motivation, driving force. This Bodhicitta must be, to what extent is your Bodhicitta is determined by the compassion. If the compassion is intense, Bodhicitta will be more profound. If the compassion is a little shallow, so-so, then Bodhicitta is also like so-so. So compassion determines the intensity, the quality of the compassion determines Bodhicitta. And this compassion, to what extent you feel that compassion towards other beings, is determined by the degree of your renunciation. So renunciation, compassion-based bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness, supported by this single point meditation. So with this in mind, so finally our mind, how much we can extract meaning out of life is determined by how much we can put effort in these 3 points. Renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness, and supported by the single point meditation. Okay. So with this in mind, with the desire to give a greatest meaning to your life, and to help others also see the meaning of their life, let's turn to page 3. And imagine that you're leading this recitation, the practice, and all your different members, even those who passed away, you include them to doing this practice. And to your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And to your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And to your great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye joda zoge jonam na chanjo bado dane gyabsoj dage jinso gebe sona dubare jo sanye joda zoge jonam na chanjo bado dane gyabsoj dage jinso gebe sonam Toda venjere sanje dubare jo, sanje joda zoge jonam, chanjo bardo dane gyabso je, dage jinso gebe sonam, toda venjere sanje dubare jo. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no substance, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead here is seeking pacification, complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths, courses, those helping migrate so they achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue as a smart of varieties teachings. The one who has transformed into a reliable guide, motivated by others to benefit of sentient beings, the teacher, Sukha, and protector, to you are my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who turn the chance for the forever noble light raised, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the motto full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhamam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Meaning of the mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peacefully, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar of Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one could fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the words. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and as the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas, for 3 times I be obeisance. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness, of selflessness, transcending sorrows, peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove the miseries by his hands. His spiritual realities does not transfer to them. He is by teaching the truth of the suchness of the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. If attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, people read the three principal aspects of the path, page number 78. Okay, three principal aspects of the path, page 78. Okay, just a quick reminder of what we're reading. Three principal aspects of the path, but three main practices to include in our life. If one, page 78, if one wants to awaken the full potential within us, and they are renunciation, bodhicitta, and perfect view. Okay, recently, you don't have a book? You lost a book? No, there must be some extra there. Okay, English, there should be more. Okay, so after this you take a copy. Do you take a copy? Yeah, okay. And these are three things. So why we require these three things? This is a question. Number one, finally to remove our self-grasping ignorance. And then the stains, remove the mental stains. We need to introduce a counter force. This is the only way to get rid of your tuberculosis. You can take other measures, good food, good rest, but antibiotics is necessary. You are by fluke, by some coincidence, rarely without taking antibiotics, tuberculosis, sometimes it can come to an end. Is it possible? Tuberculosis, without even taking antibiotics, this can come to an end sometimes. Very rare though. For example, my father, when I was just like age 5, I still remember he getting up so early in the morning. He would drink hot water, thinking that he knows that he was suffering from tuberculosis. He knew that he was suffering from tuberculosis, but no facilities for medication. And in those days, if you have to take the medicines, if you do get the medicines, you have to take the medicine for minimum 1 year, sometimes 1.5 years in those days. And I still remember people taking the medication after I was in school. Just like a handful like this. Every day you have to eat like this much. Now it is very different. Now it is just 3-4 tablets, that's it. And that too from 1 year, now it's like 6 months. And some say that it can even be reduced to 3 months later on with the advancement of the medicines. Okay, so but we can't expect this. If you suffer from tuberculosis, the best thing is go for antibiotics as of now, right? So the measures can be taken like good food, healthy food, proper sleep, rest, and so forth. But the antibiotics must. So likewise, all the other practices are fine, but the wisdom of emptiness is must. If you want to remove the mental dirt, to awaken your Buddha nature, that is must, number one. That is why it is a principle. Then the Bodhicitta, this wisdom is like the axe to cut the poisonous tree. If the axe is just lying there, very sharp axe lying there, And the woodcutter is so lazy to cut the poisonous wood. Is so difficult to cut. It's so lazy, right? Oh, I'll cut it tomorrow. And the axe will not go there. They chop the wood, chop the tree. So what to be done? That the enthusiasm is missing. So this enthusiasm is required to use this axe. Likewise, the best of the enthusiasm to cut. The best of enthusiasm means enthusiasm to remove all the mental defilements. It can be extremely subtle defilements. It may take a long time, still the determination should be there. The best of determination is the Bodhicitta, determination Bodhicitta. So, without determination, no matter how sharp the axe is, it not cut the poisonous tree on its own. It requires a determination. So, Bodhicitta is must, number 2. And this Bodhicitta is about other beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. To feel that, you should feel the pain on yourself. If you don't feel the pain, if you don't have the experience of the pain, what the pain is like for yourself, you cannot really imagine what the pain is on others. For example, there's the Tibetan very funny story. Right? There's the couple, husband and wife. And one day the wife had a toothache. How many of you had toothache, raise hands? Okay, what is that like? Painful? It's so-so or fun? So-so? Then what's it like? Extremely painful, excruciatingly painful, right? Even to think of this machine, to drill, the sound, even to think of the sound, it makes some pain inside, although it's yet to touch your teeth, right? And no anesthesia, touch it, and if the dentist is not skilled, then it can touch the nerve, finish. You're getting it? Then you're in hell, right? Or how many of that experience? Raise hands. Right? Just by the thought of this sound and going towards your teeth, right? It gives you just an extremely unpleasant feeling, right? And fear also. Okay. So this lady was going through this pain, acute toothache. And the husband said, her husband had no experience of this pain, never had toothache. So he asked, oh, hey, why are you crying? And that is, I have a toothache. I have the toothache. What is toothache? Tooth is just a piece of bone. There's no pain for the bone. There's no pain with the bone, right? You're just lying. And then after a while, after a few years, the men had a toothache. And the lady said, why are you crying? And he said, I have a toothache, right? What is this toothache? Tooth is just a piece of bone. And he said, the male bone tooth and the female tooth is so different. So from this message is that, the message that unless you have the experience of what the pain is like, you cannot possibly empathize with others. You're getting it? So first, the renunciation, that you should feel the pain, suffering, misery, tears of samsara. The more you feel that, then you can empathize with others. Then you can generate bodhicitta. So for the bodhicitta, the ground is the renunciation. So renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom. These three are something which we cannot avoid. Like the three pillars. The three pillars supporting each other. You remove any one pillar, all three pillars will gone. No benefit of. So three pillars, they're all supporting each other. They are all, each one of them are as crucially important as the others. Likewise, these two are known as the three pillars, the principal paths. Okay. So if you really want to extract a meaning, to give a meaning to your life, so I would say those younger ones sitting for the competitive exams, sitting for the entrance exams and so forth, yes, you should not deviate your immediate responsibility, the work, but then deep inside, finally, I crack this exam, and then I don't crack this exam, So finally, I have to lead my life. I lead my life, and this exam, if it gets me, if I crack it, well, good. If not, still my main purpose of my life is not defeated. It's not lost. That is to awaken the seed of perfection within me. That anybody has the chance to do it. Whether you pass exam or not pass exam, anybody can do it. There's nothing greater than this. So, with this, people sitting for some common exams, you are so stressed. Think of this, my main purpose of this, as long as that is not missed, if I pass exam, well and good. If I'll try my best. If not, no worries, I'll go for second plan B, plan C, plan D. Meanwhile, the most important thing in my life is to uncover the treasure, hidden treasure of happiness within me. That nobody can stop me. Exams cannot stop this. You're getting it? So this is how you can find joy. And in this text, we're extremely lucky, we're fortunate to encounter with this text by Lama Tsongkhapa. And amazingly, succinctly presented with the clarity there and very concise, short. So each of these three points are taught under three subheadings. One, why, for example, the renunciation, why do you generate renunciation? Number two, if you were convinced that yes, I have to generate renunciation, then next is, how do you generate renunciation? Once you practice the attempt to generate the renunciation, the next is, what is the measure to say that I have now accomplished in the generated renunciation? So, why, how, and the measure. Three, for the renunciation, for the bodhicitta, for the wisdom of emptiness. And if later on we try to take our time to just really see from which verse renunciation started, from which verse the bodhicitta started, from which wisdom of emptiness started, then each one of these point, which verse the verse why for bodhicitta, why for renunciation is stated, which verse how renunciation is stated, and then which verse the measure of renunciation. Like verse 4, why bodhicitta, how bodhicitta measure, the wisdom why, how, the measure. Okay, so we cannot do it now in detail, but take your time. That's not difficult. Take it down. It's self-explanatory. The meanings are so lucid and clear, and we can just reflect, meditate on a bit of these. And then Sharipema is your favorite text. Yeah, and His Holiness recites this every day. So I'm very inspired to hear His Holiness in one of his public teachings, that His Holiness, who already embodied these three qualities so perfectly well, still cherishes and this text represents to the path. Okay. And also I think the Brother TB was also inspired that His Holiness was reading the Foundation of All Good Qualities, right? And that inspired him to recite it every day. So let's all be inspired. Finally, the point is not about following tradition. It's about awakening the hidden treasure of happiness. This whole purpose. Let's not forget it. Okay. I bow down to the Venerable Lamas. As well as I am able, I will explain the essence of all the teachings of the Buddha, the path praised by the conqueror's children, entrance for those who desire liberation. Listen with a clear mind, you fortunate ones who are not attached to the joys of cyclic existence. Strive to make good use of leisure and opportunity, and direct your mind to the path that pleases the Buddhas. Without pure renunciation, an end to attraction for the pleasure of cyclic existence is unattainable. The craving for existence also binds being. Thus, from the outset, seek renunciation. Reverse the attraction to this life by reflecting on how leisure and opportunity are difficult to find, and how life is ephemeral and without span. Reverse the attraction to future lives karma and its effects, and the miseries of samsara. Contemplating thus, when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of sacred existence, and remain intent on liberation day and night, renunciation is born in you then. Renunciation, if not tempered by pure mind of bodhicitta, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Therefore, the wise ones generate the excellent amount of bodhicitta. Swept up in the current of the four powerful rivers, tied by strong bonds of karma, so are how to undo. Caught in the iron net of self-grasping, completely enveloped by the darkness of ignorance, born in boundless cyclic existence, ceaselessly tormented by the three miseries. Thinking of your mothers in this condition, generate the supreme mind of bodhicitta. Although you train in renunciation in the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of cyclic existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. One who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana, and destroys all focuses of apprehension, has entered the path that which pleases the Buddhas. Appearances are infallible, dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding that is free of assertions. As long as these two are seen as distinct, you have not yet realized the intent of the Buddhas. When these two are realized just as a concurrent, where the mere sight of infallible dependent origination concurrently destroys all modes of grasping through definite discernment, at that time the analysis of the profound view is perfected. Furthermore, appearances refutes the extreme of existence, emptiness refutes the extreme of non-existence. When I understand that emptiness arises in the form of cause and effect, you are not captivated by the view of extremes. O my child, once you have thus realized the points of the three principal paths, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination, and quickly reach the final aspired goal. Okay, so it's just for information. I got the list of the books by Geshe from Sally. Sally, raise your hand. Okay, so thank you. So this is the list of the books by Venerable Geshe, and these books are high quality, and not the book material. Not the paper. Paper I'm not talking about. Some are very good papers, but the contents are just not so attractive. So the books by Geshe Sonram, translated by Ruth Sonam, is just excellent. Okay, so the list of books are there. One is 37 Practices of Bodhisattvas, which we read, and his commentary. Then Lama Adisha's Lamp for the Path of Enlightenment, which is like the main framework of the teaching of the Lamrim, adopted by all the Tibetan Buddhist traditions in Tibet, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyingma, Gelug, all. Then the six perfections. We took the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. We talk about six perfections and the detailed explanation given there, one in the book. The three principles for the path, which we read right now, the commentary on this is also there. The Bodhisattva vows, the vow which we took this morning, this the aspiration one, there's the engaged Bodhisattva vow. So that also there's commentary there by Geshe. Then 8 verses for train the mind. Which we read the morning, a commentary on this. And Heart Sutra also commentary is there by Geshe. Then the how karma works, 12 links of dependent. We talked about the 12 links, the wheel of life, also commentary there. 400 verses, the book which really captivated me. And then the Buddha nature, what is the Buddha nature? Detailed explanation of that is given there in the commentary by Geshe last year. And then the 7 points for train the mind. We read the 8 verses of mind training. The 7 points train the mind is also there. A commentary by Geshe. So perhaps I will ask Ajirji to attach this somewhere, and then you can take a photograph of this, and you can see that these are the books available. Good. Okay. Text reading done, 4 essentials done, emptiness of mind done, Heart Sutra at 5 levels, and the question answers. Okay, so first I think we'll do a little bit of the Okay, just a Heart Sutra that will be quicker. Heart Sutra, Heart Sutra, those of us who are missing this morning, for you, and for those who were present this morning, this will be for you like a revision and reinforcement. And for those who are absent this morning, I'm going to quickly explain what this Heart Sutra is. Heart Sutra was the teaching which happened on Vulture's Peak, where most of us have been there, and then soon we're going there. I'm going there. When? Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, on 13th. On 13th, I'm going there. And again, another 1 week of Bodhicitta retreat there. So this is what I'm looking for. So there we go to the main temple, then take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and from there, then one day we go to the Vulture's Peak, where the Heart Sutra happened. We go there, we take aspiration Bodhisattva vow, we do a little bit of explanation for Heart Sutra there. Then from there we go to Nalanda, where all these thoughts, the 60 verses, the emptiness, all these brilliant thoughts were developed. So we go there to the ruins there, just to pay respect to all the Nalanda masters who were there, and who were product of that, the erstwhile Nalanda University. And they just to tell them that we came here to tell you all, to inform you all that we are your heirs. Your tradition has not died, it's still with us. We will take the responsibility to take it forward, to spread this compassion grounded on the understanding of very profound, the philosophy of dependent origination and emptiness. So we came here to tell you that your tradition is still alive. His Holiness is on this planet Earth, and we are following him to keep your tradition alive for the world, for all the demons and jinn beings. So then we do a little bit of ceremonial teaching on the Arya Nagarjuna's chapter 24 of Mula Madhyamika Karika there, because that was a place where this teaching became so widely spread and debated, discussed, meditated upon. So we go there to the place of origin of this teaching, and we do the teaching there. We meditate on emptiness, we meditate on Bodhicitta, and that same place, how many the practitioners, the monks, they became the bodhisattvas in that very place. And the Arya Nagarjuna was there. Then Bodhisattva Aryadeva was there, Arya Sangha was there, Acharya Vasubandhu was there, Bodhisattva Shantideva was there, Bodhisattva Shantarakshita was there, Acharya Kamalashila was there. All the brilliant 700 Nalanda masters, they are the product of that erstwhile Nalanda University. So we go there, we do these practices, make offering of talk there also, and then we come back. So that is a very unique experience. So this is one thing which I always look forward to. And of course, the place where the Buddha Shakyamuni became enlightened. Okay, under the Bodhi tree, he was actually meditating on this emptiness of objective existence. And if you go there, then one way to make a special, say, the significance, give a special significance to your being there, is seeing this seed on which the Buddha became enlightened. That seed under Bodhi tree, here, this very precious holy. Instead of that is good. Alongside, okay, what was the Buddha actually doing under this tree, on this seed? What was he doing? He became enlightened. What do you mean? So what was he doing when he became enlightened? He was actually meditating on the emptiness of objective existence. So you also meditate on the emptiness of objective existence and pray to Buddha that may I as well, like you, how you become enlightened, may I as well, by meditating on the emptiness of the objective existence, motivated by great compassion, Bodhicitta, may I too become Buddha to benefit all demons and jinn beings, to carry your torch of the wisdom to all the beings. If you can think like this, then your being there is going to be very special. Instead of just going there and then show some respect, oh, this holy place, yes, no doubt you accumulate so much merit, but if you can do that by really emulating what the Buddha did there, then that is the highest level of your accumulation merit, and your being there, the purpose, being there is fulfilled. Well, you good. So, Heart Sutra. On the Vulture's Peak, the Buddha Shakyamuni presided over the gathering, and with Arya Nagarjuna from one side, and Shariputra, and surrounded by the monks, and bodhisattvas, nuns, the lay devotees, all were there. And then the Buddha Shakyamuni went into samadhi, wisdom of emptiness. And then anybody becoming Buddha gets access to the true truth simultaneously, being deeply into ultimate truth and also in with the conventional truth. So with that access to conventional truth, then the Buddha blessed and inspired Shariputra to ask a question to Arya Nagarjuna. So the first point, not amiss, says, what is the question asked by Shariputra to Arya Nagarjuna? Point 1. Point 2. Then Arya Nagarjuna also contemplating on the wisdom of emptiness. And then he started to give response. So what response the Arya Nagarjuna gave to Shariputra? Point number 2, not to miss. Then point number 3, if we are to practice as taught by Arya Nagarjuna as a response to the question by Shariputra, what benefit will we get? Number 3. So these are 3 points not to miss when we read Heart Sutra. And the first question is, the question asked by Shariputra is, how should the child of a lineage practice perfectional wisdom? Child of a lineage meaning somebody who, they say, somebody who holds the lineage of the Buddhahood. Who is that? Anybody, whatever religion, whatever, say, the ethnicity, whatever gender, whatever degree of your knowledge, wealth, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you commit yourself that may I too awaken the seed of perfection within me for the benefit of all sentient beings, automatically you become the child of the lineage. And this is the best of the lineages in the universe. The lineage to save the whole world, very rationally and sensibly. So as somebody who is holder of the lineage, what should I do? So you made the commitment, may I become Buddha. So how to become Buddha? You have to take the steps, remove the material defilements. How to remove the defilements? By resorting to the wisdom. What is that wisdom? How should you practice this wisdom? This question. So, followed by the answer given by Arya Nagarjuna, that this wisdom is the wisdom to see everything like a dream. Then, and the Arya Nagarjuna taught that how the self is like a dream, how the 5 aggregates which constitute the self is like a dream. So in this connection, then Arya Nagarjuna explained form is empty. 5 aggregates. What are the 5 aggregates? Kunal, what are the 5 aggregates? Aggregate of form. Aggregate of feeling. Aggregate discrimination. Compositional factors. Consciousness. Good. Okay, so these 5 aggregates are what constitutes you. So each of these aggregate form. First, the aggregate form. So Arya Nagarjuna taught form is empty. Emptiness is form. Form is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is also not other than form. Likewise, feeling, discrimination, composite factors of consciousness are empty. You're getting it? So, with the form, Arya Nagarjuna mentioned the 4 lines. So this is how you have to apply to the remaining aggregates. Feeling is empty. Emptiness is feeling. Emptiness is not other than feeling. Feeling is also not other than emptiness. Likewise, discrimination is empty, emptiness is discrimination. Discrimination is not other than empty, emptiness is not discrimination. So likewise, cognitive factor and consciousness. This is how we have to apply it. So what's the meaning? Applying this to the form, let's say that, okay, Group A, conventional analysis. Group B, ultimate analysis. This is a form. This is a form. So if I ask Group A, what is this? Group A will say, this is a form. This is a form. And Group B, ultimate analysis, what I ask, what is this? You say, this is empty of form. Emptiness of form. You getting it? So, what Group A sees as form is, let me be a little more technical. What conventional analysis sees this as form is what ultimate analysis, this is empty of objective reality. Form is empty. Next, emptiness is form. What the ultimate analysis sees as emptiness is what the conventional analysis sees as form. So, emptiness is form. The next, are these two different entities or the same object? I say, Group A, what is this? Form. Group B, what is this? Emptiness of form. So I point to the same object for the reference of the two different labels. Because of this, the two things are actually the same nature. Same nature, meaning that what group the ultimate conventional analysis is form, what ultimate analysis is emptiness, is actually talking about the same object. So form is not other than emptiness. Likewise, emptiness is also not other than the form. So form is empty means form as a basis is empty. This is ultimate truth. Form is the nature of the emptiness, ultimate truth. Next, emptiness is a form. So although there's the empty object exists, it's not that form does not exist. Form does exist because it's objectively empty, so subjectively it's a form. So there is a conventional truth. First is the ultimate truth, second one teaches the conventional truth. And these two truths of the same object, these two are not two different entities. These two are the same entity. Form is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is also not other than the form. These two are the same entity. Which means that with the same object, you see this as a form. You see this as a form, but depends on the parts. The flower comes in existence, but depends on the mental imputation. The flower is imputed, but it must cause the conditions. The flower grows. By seeing that, we see the dependent origination. By seeing dependent origination, then we appreciate, we see that this is not independent real. There's a form there, but subjectively existent form. And dependent originated form. So with this, your compassion, all the good qualities grow. Whereas form is empty. When you see the emptiness side, then all the destructive emotions dissolve. By seeing the form as dependent, as subject real, all the good qualities become like a waxing moon. Like a waxing moon, they grow. So good qualities grow and the bad qualities all cease. So this understanding of emptiness serves like a tea strainer. Okay, how many of you use tea strainers? Raise hands. Okay, tea strainer, huh?
Nowadays only tea.
Yes. So how many of you use tea strainers? How many of you use tea strainers? Okay, what is tea strainer?
Tea fresh.
So what's the job of this?
Job to stop tea leaves from getting inside of the cup.
Then,
So it's
okay, let the drinkability flow freely and stop the non-drinkability leaves. Yes. Okay. So this understanding, emptiness is form. Form is empty. Emptiness is a form. Form is not emptiness. Emptiness is not a form. So this understanding will give you like a tea strainer with respect to the afflictions and the virtues. Tea strainer, it holds back. it controls, it stops all the non-drinkable tea leaves, non-drinkable tea residues, it will stop. And it will freely let flow the drinkable tea. You're getting it? Likewise, this wisdom of emptiness will freely let flow your virtuous minds, compassion and so forth, freely let flow, and it will hold back all the negative thoughts and stop them. This is the power of the wisdom of emptiness. You're getting it? Okay, so that is done. Then the next part, the 5 levels of selflessness. Okay, this we'll do next class. Okay. Okay, now we'll do a little bit of question answers. Okay, I'll deliberately put the question answers in the order in such a way that the first questions will be read first, right? The questions which came later, keep down, not on the top. To give respect to the people who give the first questions first. Okay.
But it's good because when I pass you, it's in my pocket.
So from my side, I have to do the best. You're getting it?
So I apologize. So Geshe did not scrap all your sequence. So I'm the one that's responsible. So I'll take that. My apology.
Particularly like the one which came yesterday, the one came which came this morning. This we'll do last. If you get time, you will do it, but last. Okay, now many of these questions you can answer yourself. I'll read this for you, and many of you can answer this. This is what I'm expecting from you. How do we apply emptiness of objectivity to issues of the world? Okay, let's say that, okay, this question is like, this reminded me of my school days. By the way, when I was in school, I was so fond of physics and mathematics. So I had no issue of the XY, right? You understand what I meant by XY? Right? X squared plus Y squared divided by X, Y, 2 plus, and so forth. Some people, they are fed up with this X and Y. So what these boys, naughty boys, what they say is that closer towards the end of the school, right? They are so fed up with this number, X, Y, all the time. They will say that the moment you finish your school, when you go to your job, when you go to your work, to do shopping, nobody will ask you what is X, what is Y. You're getting it? In a way, what they're saying is what you are studying here is totally irrelevant to your real life. This is what these naughty boys are saying, right? So, likewise, is it that they're irrelevant? They're not irrelevant. Not because that I'm fond of physics and mathematics, because it will sharpen your intelligence. You're getting it? And then how you relate with the real life is very different from those people who did not study X and Y. So therefore, in many of the countries, even if you are a biology student, if you took mathematics alongside biology, the preference for your enrollment in the higher studies always given to those people who took mathematics, because it says that with mathematics, the person's mind is extremely agile. This is where the person's mind is agile. Because of this, whatever you do, for example, like physicists, when they handle neuroscience, they become top neuroscientists. Physicists, when they go into philosophy, they become top philosophers. Physicists, when they go into sociology, they become the top sociologists, because their mind is so trained that become the top. For example, read Michio Kaku's book. Michio Kaku, he's a brilliant physicist. Read his book on the future of mind. It's about neuroscience. He's not a neuroscientist, but he's a brilliant physicist, and he get all the data from the neuroscientist friends, and what he wrote is just a bestseller. No, the physicists, it's not that the physicists, they are brighter, because of the training. This training, X and Y training, that makes the person's mind extremely sharp. Okay, so likewise, the wisdom of emptiness is not that you can directly apply this to the world, the crisis. Don't expect that. It is to change your mind. First, change your mind. See what you can do for the world, what I can do for the world. What I first, before talking about the world, what I can do to my family. How many times I shouted at my mother? Stop that first before you talk about the world. You're getting it? How many times you shouted at your husband? How many you shouted to your wife? Stop that first before you talk about the world, right? And before you do that, first learn how to be kind to yourself. Start from there. Apply wisdom emptiness to yourself before talk about the world. And from you, then expand to the family, then to the workplace, and then think of spreading this message. We can't, in action, directly, we cannot do anything to the Israel-Hamas war. But we can spread the words. Say, you meet somebody, you talk about this. How, when the mind is driven by anger and hatred, what consequences on the common people, how the common people, so much common people suffer. Just spread this word. This is how we apply it. The first thing is that apply it to yourself. See if it works on you. Okay, all these examples, exorcism, just see if it works on you. If it doesn't work on you, no point, right? Best of the medicines, if it doesn't work on you, don't just promote it. You're getting it? So if you cannot practice compassion, then don't really talk too much about compassion. So try your best to practice compassion, even though you may not succeed. But if you're ardent enthusiast of compassion, this is so precious, then you can talk about it. But, so therefore, first apply it to yourself. Okay, so first apply to yourself and then see, how the world works. Otherwise, to talk about all these philosophy which I talked about, the making the pain zero, compassion infinite, this is very far away. Just first study them well. Don't look for, so with PhD, what will I get? Don't first do PhD. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, how not to lose, what is that? I don't understand the writing. How not to lose interest in work. Okay, it is like my handwriting. My handwriting, it works for 3 days. After 3 days, I cannot read it myself. Yeah. Is it your question?
I read that.
No, you can read it for the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Third day, you cannot read it.
Okay.
Yeah, even it's my handwriting, same. I can read it for 2 days. And after the third day, I don't know what I wrote. So it's the same thing. Who wrote this? Yeah, look.
How to not lose interest in work, accomplishments, relations, and so on, when you start to see Jesus for it.
Empty of?
Objects.
So if they're empty, then why should I work? Is your question, right? What is it? First, you have to pass the 2 gates. What's the first gate?
Does it exist? Yes.
Right? They're not non-existent.
Yeah, but the question is more important. Like, whenever you're on this journey and you're learning and you're practicing, like along the way, this thing of losing interest in
Samsaric life and work responsibilities are different. Samsaric life and work responsibilities are very different. Work responsibility is so important. This is the Dharma practice. Samsaric life is purely samsaric. It has nothing to do with Dharma. Work responsibility in your work doesn't mean samsaric. You're getting it? Responsibility in the work, you do it just for making money and no interest in it at all. This is samsaric. Okay, for money, for my living, I work. But what I work, I have to do it very sincerely. Sincerely, right? That becomes Dharma. There's no contradiction. Even with the relationships, right? If it is not driven by selfishness, pure selfishness, all this cheating happens. Pure selfishness. Because it's pure selfish, not for the other person. You're not at all taking care of the other person. Who cares? Right? This attitude is very selfish. That is mundane. Where there's a sense of responsibility, that I should make sure the other person doesn't suffer. I should be there for the other person. This is a genuine concern. Then your status will not matter. Right? You're always there for each other. That is Dharma. That is Dharma. Okay. But Micah and I, both of us, we should improve our handwriting. Okay, well, what if you go too fast or slow on this spiritual journey? What can one experience emotionally and mentally? Too fast or too slow? First, let's do too fast, right? Too fast and not prepared, a small stone can explode the rocket. Rocket runs so fast. A small, tiny stone, if it hits with a tiny pebble, it can simply, if it hits with a bird, the rocket will explode. So you should be well prepared. And the friction, if you run too fast, the friction can burn the rocket. So you should be so well prepared. Because of this, the material of the rockets are very different from the regular aeroplane. The materials used for the rocket, they are more like heat proof, heat resistance. And you should be well prepared. So too fast means prepare more, right? Prepare more so that you can run fast. Otherwise, it can be suicidal. Next, too slow. Then too slow, what happens is that, you're building a house, right? You're building a house. Okay, first year, the first layer of brick. Second year, the second layer of the brick. By the time you reach the fourth, fifth layer, the first layer of the brick is already gone. Again, you have to start from the beginning. It never comes to an end. So it should not be too slow, it should not be too fast. Okay. Could you please explain more about Shri? What is Shri? What is Evam? Okay. Shri Heruka. Say Heruka Shri. He, selfless of phenomena. Ru, selfless of person. Ka, the non-duality of the non-duality. And the Shri is the wisdom which sees the non-duality in a non-dualistic way. Let me repeat it. Shri is the wisdom to see the non-duality object in a non-dualistic way. This is Shri. Then Evam. Evam is extremely just two syllables, but it encompasses everything of the world, universe. It's an extremely profound concept. Evam. The method and wisdom incorporated. Everything of the universe is incorporated in these two syllables. Evam. The Evam constitutes the whole thing of the universe, particularly the path to enlightenment. Everything of the path is incorporated in these two syllables. Evam. Okay, it's just the very quick. For the detail, you have to study separately. Good. What should be the purpose of and after every sentient beings get enlightened? Wow. Whose question is this? Okay. What should be the purpose of mind after every sentient being gets enlightened? That's interesting. I should think. Say all sentient beings are already enlightened. They already become Buddha. So you're Buddha or not? You're Buddha. Okay, you're Buddha means don't worry. You don't have to ask him. Right? He knows everything. You're getting it? By the way, how do you start the journey? That I'm suffering, I want to get over suffering. I want the happiness, infinite happiness, right? When you become Buddha, you get these two full. So you don't have to search for anything. You are like 24 hours in blissful state. This is best, right? So don't worry. What should be your work after this? Yeah. Yes, that's true. It's a major concern. You have to plan ahead of time, right? Before I become Buddha, what should I do? After I become Buddha, what should I do? Right? Then after 70% of the people, beings are liberated, then what should be my next job? Right? Then when all the beings are attained Buddha, what should be my job? Okay. What is that? All these handwritings are similar to mine. When someone gets sick or seriously ill, is this something to do? Is this something to do and work, previous life, or to do with previous life karma, or is it just a misconception? Whose question is this? Whose question is this? Okay, if not, then I'll stop here. I'll keep it there. How do we, whose question is this? Is there anybody here? Okay, no? Then don't worry. Right? Don't worry. Right, okay. How do we know the way? What is that? Either with my eye problem or the handwriting problem. A way out, the Buddha is the only way to enlightenment. Now, do you think that there are other paths? Okay. So basically, what I would suggest is that the one most important thing to do is no excessive speculation. If you keep speculating, you will not get anywhere, right? You can't even move from this hall, right? Oh, okay, the bell rings. Where are you going? I'm going for the lunch. What is it? What will you get if by going for lunch? Then your hunger will go away. How do you know if I eat the lunch, your hunger will go? How do you know that? How will I know that? Right? So if you keep exploring like this, known as over speculation. So the point is that what is required? By the way, whose question is this? Okay. By the way, for this, what we say is that maintain open mind. Maintain open mind. Don't say that, oh, I came to Deer Park. Deer Park said that. In Deer Park said that. Dorji Damdul, he said that. The wisdom of emptiness only liberating the path. Why only? Why not others? You don't have to believe in what I said. Just maintain an open mind. Don't accept, don't reject easily. Take the information. Take the information doesn't that you have to accept it. For example, if somebody gives me lots of things, right? What I would do is that, do I need them or do I don't need them? I don't know. So what is it? I put everything in the sack. Then I carry with me. Then when I get to my house, I'll put everything and then sort out. What is useful for me? What is not useful? What is useful for me? I'll give. What is not useful? I'll discard. You're getting it? First, I will pick all the information. Maintain open mind. This is very important. And particularly when your intelligence grows, then to sort out things is very easy. When intelligence doesn't grow, Then, oh, this is also good, this is also amazing, this is amazing, everything seems amazing, and you get lost, confused. Whereas your intelligence is like the magnet to sort out what is metal and what is non-metal, what is iron and what is non-iron. You can sort that out with the magnet. So you need to build this magnet-like intelligence. How? I told you, I shared my experience. I never read Western psychology before. And modern science, what I understand of modern science today in comparison with what I actually studied modern science when I was age 19, class 12, what my knowledge today is far better than that boy. So the point is, I would never study Western philosophy, but today I read. It doesn't mean that I'm smart. No, because that I'm trained. I am given this incredible, beautiful key by Arya Nagarjuna's philosophy. With this key, you read any philosophy, right? David Hume and somebody expert in David Hume, I discuss with him. There are lots of things to discuss with him. We can even come to the point of where the David Hume's loopholes are. We can see them. So the point is that we need to have the key, master key. I talked about the master key. You can, instead of carrying hundreds of keys, carry one master key. That is intelligence. Build your intelligence. Don't keep speculating. Who will keep speculating is those people who are not confident. They keep speculating. Those who are very confident, they will not speculate. So how do we get confidence? Because of the intelligence. Intelligence with the correct information. That's so important. Good. And then you are the best judge. For example, like Nalanda studies, I would say that those physicists, because they are so intelligent, when they come to, for example, the Buddhist philosophy, they understand Buddhist philosophy very easily. For example, I have my physicist friends, Indian physicist friends, Israeli physicist friends, and then of course Professor Anton Zeilinger, who is Nobel laureate in physics last year. So all these, they're so brilliant. When they are introduced to Buddhist concept, they understand very easily Buddhist philosophy very easily. So if you build your intelligence, then you get the correct information. You are the best judge to see which is suitable for you. Next, our feelings also, okay, this is a very clear handwriting. Although it is not as beautiful as, Pinzola's, yes, it's not as beautiful as Pinzola's handwriting, but it's very clear, very readable. Our feelings also composite phenomena. How one should apply ultimate analysis to the feelings or emotions. Whose question is this? Good. It's very readable, very clear. I really appreciate it. Are feelings also composite phenomena? Yes, the answer is yes. How one should apply ultimate analysis to the feelings or emotions, which we did yesterday, emptiness of the mind. Feeling is a part of mind. So you just, first we have to identify what the feeling is like. Feeling of pleasure, pain, neutral, happy, sadness, this feeling, just to identify them. Say, somebody looking at you can conjecture your feeling, but not see your feelings. You can see your feelings. You can feel the feelings. Oh, I'm sad, I'm happy, you can feel that. Once you get it, then you apply this, the present moment of the feeling. I'm not really concerned about the feeling, sad feeling 10 years ago. I'm not worried about the feelings 10 years later, because 10 years later is future, 10 years past is past. So past and future, I'm not. So what is it? Present. Yes, I'm feeling sad. Undeniably, I'm feeling sad. Undeniably, I'm feeling happy. So what is this feeling like? Just observe, but it's the present moment, not the past, not the future. And you see that it becomes shorter. Then you see that it's like illusion. Nothing to be grabbed at to see that this is what I'm feeling. You getting it? Okay. So this, as we discussed yesterday, can we see the emptiness of phenomena with our bare eyes? Whose question is this? Whose question is this? Okay, then we'll stop it. Then we'll leave it. Okay. What is the significance of keeping 7 water balls done? Doing shamatha meditation, everything blurs in front of eyes slowly and steadily. Is it an error? And if it is, then should I open my eyes again? Okay, whose question? Okay, say okay. blurs in front of my eyes, which means visual. Visual is very actively connected with your mental consciousness. So what were you meditating? Was object meditation? Breath. Counting the breath. Counting the breath is not visual. You getting it? So this very important question. Counting the breath is not visual. It's purely mental exercise. That's your object. But blurry means visual. You getting it? So the visual is dominating your mental consciousness. So your mental consciousness is not fully on the breath. It is partly pulled by the visual, which means that meditation is not too successful. So the job is to place the mind on the counting the breath more and more. And if you're successful, gradually the visual things will slowly become oblivious to your mental consciousness. Then the blurriness will not at all happen in the first place. So these are the things. If you know how the mind works, then your meditation, you can stay away from the erroneous meditations. Otherwise, we just stay with this, and then it can become a very bad habit. So in other words, the blurriness is what? Visual. But what you are doing is the counting the breath. The counting the breath is purely mental exercise, right? Mental exercise related with the sensation, related with the tactility. It's not visual. So when visual is interrupting your meditation, which in your mental consciousness is chasing the visual. So you have to pull that and focus on the breath, count the breath. So the duration, longer the duration, more will be carried away by the visual, because visual is so powerful. So we want what? Say the mobile, we want the visual, right? Visual is something which dominates the world. So therefore, which is so powerful, it can pull our mental consciousness easily. Okay. I would like to know the difference between Dharmakaya and Dharmadhatu. Whose question is this? Handwriting is amazing. My mind is moving like this, seeing the handwriting. I'll keep it somewhere there, you watch it. It's amazing. Clarity is there, and the aesthetic is there, the beauty is there, it's amazing. Okay, I'd like to know the difference between Dharmakaya and Dharmadhatu. Okay, the Dharmakaya, meaning when you become a Buddha, your mental consciousness and the qualities of mental consciousness and your, say, the Buddha bodies, your bodies, they become the Dharmakaya in general. Then Dharmakaya more specifically is your mind, mental consciousness when it becomes a Buddha, and your qualities like the quality of freedom from purity of the mind. These are the Dharmakaya. And Dharmadhatu is the Buddha nature inside, Buddha nature. So Buddha nature is within us. Dharmakaya is not with us at the moment. We have the Dharmadhatu, we don't have the Dharmakaya. When we become a Buddha, our Dharmadhatu becomes Dharmakaya. Yeah. By the way, I'll keep it here. Separate. Period. And it's amazing. When we say emptiness is not other than form, is this from conventional analysis? Okay, that's done. What do we mean by Bodhicitta, conventional ultimate? Is conventional before nirvana or before Buddhahood? Whose question is this? Okay. So first one is done. What do we mean by Bodhicitta, conventional ultimate? So Bodhicitta, let's say for example, say Bodhicitta one is Bodhicitta in general that we talk about, Bodhicitta in general, Bodhicitta and the wisdom of emptiness. That Bodhicitta is purely conventional Bodhicitta. In other words, the real Bodhicitta. Wisdom of emptiness is given the label. Given the label Bodhicitta, but in real sense it's not Bodhicitta. The real Bodhicitta is the conventional Bodhicitta, the aspiration or the altruistic intention to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. That is the real Bodhicitta or the conventional Bodhicitta. And is conventional before nirvana or before Buddhahood? So basically Buddhahood is also a nirvana. Buddhahood is the greatest, the version, the most purified version of nirvana. The best version of the nirvana is Buddhahood. So when you speak of nirvana and Buddhahood, that nirvana refers to the nirvana attained by the Sharvakas and Predic Buddhas. Whereas otherwise, Buddhahood is, we talk about the Prime Minister and the ministers. Prime Minister is also a minister. But when we speak of the Prime Minister and ministers, these two are different. Whereas otherwise, the Prime Minister is also a minister. So Nirvana and Buddhahood is also in Nirvana, but Buddhahood is like the Prime Minister, and then the Nirvana in that context likes the ministers. Okay. How does learning, reflection, meditation on wisdom of emptiness increase universal compassion? Whose question is this? Okay. How does learning, reflection, meditation on wisdom of emptiness? Okay. This is extremely important. If your wisdom of emptiness, well, even the wisdom of emptiness can keep becoming more and more refined, depending on how much you see the intricacies of the dependent origination. If you see dependent origination of gross level, the emptiness you will experience also very gross. If you see the intricacies of the dependent origination, extremely connected, and then you will say that, okay, say for example, to the extent that, say, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. When you say this, instead you put it on, why should I do put my hands like this? I can do Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, right? Even that is, these are all the drops added. And the ocean is nothing but made of drops. Yes? There's no ocean which is separate from a drop. So it's just a build-up of the drops, accumulation of the drops. Then it becomes a huge ocean. Likewise, all the virtues of enlightenment, Buddhahood and so forth, these are the accumulation of the drops of the virtues. So, dependent origination, we see that nothing is really there except for dependent origination. Even any bit, for example, like you sit here, calm, peaceful. This is also because of the result of the virtues. You go out, you go in the sun, you feel the good, the body, so you feel warm. That's also because of the result of the virtues. Anything. And then particularly, okay, these are just the temporary, short-term benefits. But the long-term benefits, that you become happier, your wisdom of emptiness increases, you become more and more calm. These are the incredibly precious, the precious qualities that everybody's seeking. So these will happen to us, not like, oh no, what is this? This is just a small practice. What is this small practice? Small things build up and then it becomes great. For example, those people, I personally see that those who are very consistent with the Nalanda studies, these people, I can see that in 2-3 years' time, they really shine. I can see them. They really shine. who are very consistent. Those who are extremely intelligent, but they are not consistent. At one point they are so good, and then suddenly they disappear. And suddenly they show up, and then this person very intelligent, they, very smart. And then I ask questions, answers, all hopeless answers coming, because they become stagnant. They don't grow any further. So the point is that with these more deeper studies, the dependent origination, you keep seeing dependent origination clearer, more and more intricacies will be unfolded. The more intricate the levels of dependent origin you uncover, the more intricate your experience of emptiness is. So that way, say compassion is about, particular compassion is, the most sensible compassion is seeing all beings as a source of greatest benefit for you. How you see them? By seeing the intricacies of dependent origination. Then the compassion becomes unshakable no matter what happens. For example, like say, quantum mechanics. Say you are very interested in quantum mechanics, and suddenly you meet with somebody. Look, you meet with person A, and the person is nasty to you, and you come to know that this person is related to Niels Bohr. Right? Who is Niels Bohr? One of the greatest giants of quantum mechanics. Right? Oh, he's a great-grandnephew of Niels Bohr. Okay, I hate this person because this person is so nasty towards me. So Niels Bohr, you also hate Niels Bohr. Because you hate Niels Bohr, you hate quantum physics. You drop quantum physics. This is stupid. You're getting it? This is stupid. Because you are not seeing the value of the dharma. You are valuing things on the basis of the person. So therefore, as Bodhisattva Aryadeva, he said that don't rely on the person, rely on the dharma. You're getting it? Even the dharma, don't rely on the interpretable dharma. Depend on the definitive dharma. You're getting it? So therefore, we look at this. So am I relying on the dharma, the teaching, or the person? Let's say, this person is so nasty. This person, who is he? I Google search him. Oh, he's the great-grandnephew of Niels Bohr. I hate Niels Bohr then. Right? Because I hate Niels Bohr, what did he say? What is stupid quantum physics? I hate quantum physics. This is what many people do. So which means that the person relies on the person rather than the teaching. You're getting it? This is our wrong approach. Wise person, no matter what the person is, even if I don't like the person, but what he said, what she said is so profound, so meaningful. I really appreciate this. You're getting it? If this is your approach, you are an evolved person. Okay, good. In rebirth, what is the formless thing that travels from one body to another? Whose question? Okay. In rebirth, what is the formless thing that travels? There's a mind. Mind is the one which is formless, which travels from one life to the other. And what is this mind? The same question I asked. How old are you, if I may ask? 27. I asked this question to my teacher when I was 21 years old. What is this mind? I don't see the mind. I asked this question to Venerable Geshe, right? Because they always mention the mind, psychology, the science of mind. What is mind? I don't see it. And then Rinpoche, he was daily meditating on this mind. And he said, don't you see it? He explained to me, so like, it is like a piece of chocolate. It's so easy. Don't you see it? Like a mirror, like a flowing water, like a mirror there, where everything is reflected. Like a mirror. Don't you see that? And I said, no, I don't see anything like a mirror. Right? This was my question. So the point is that continue to study what it is, continue to observe what it is. It is like, to give you another metaphor, my metaphor would be like, say, between you and I, if there's a glass, a transparent glass, a very thin transparent glass, crystal clear, transparent glass. And you think that, oh, there's nothing in between. Particularly when you are upset, restless, angry, agitated, right? You don't see anything in between us. Yes, no. Right? When you will see this? If you put a hand, it will stop your hand going further. You see there's something there, but you're not seeing that. Your mind is so cross. So when you will see that, how do you see that? You have to just still your mind and just look at it very carefully. Even sometimes you might even have to hold your breath. Right? For example, you are using a very sharp knife, or you are working on electricity and so forth. Sometimes, simply by breathing, if my hands move, your hands should not be moving, so you have to control your breath. Yes, you agree? You understand it? Those people who understand this, they know the nuances, right? No one to cut the breath, to use why should you have to control the breath? You have no experience. And you do that actually. You're actually doing that, but you're not aware that you're doing it. You're getting it? So sometimes when you Ajbemala, you have to, when you use a very sharp knife, you have to hold your breath, right? But when you do so fast, right? Chopping the onion so fast, like this, just observe who do this, tak, don't worry. You don't have to, control your breath. Who do so fast, like this, you have to control your breath. Because with the breath can affect your hand, move from the hand. Look at my hand. It's moving, not moving. It's moving. You're getting it? Because of the breath. It is so subtle, and particularly if the cutting is extremely thin layer, like a machine cut, the hand must be very steady. The breath should not interfere in it. So for this, we have to hold the breath. You getting it? Okay. If you don't observe it, gradually you have to observe it. There are many things where you stop your breath to do things. Right? For example, the drilling machine with the teeth come, right? Then you hold the breath. Right? And the cold water, washing your shower, taking shower with the cold water, right? Particularly on over your head, cold water, you hold your breath. You will not feel the cold as much. You're getting it? You're all doing this, but we are not aware. What are you doing? Good. Yes. Oh. If everything is empty of objective existence and nothing is objective, then how come some people are born with exceptional talents? Okay. Exceptional talents. How come they born with exceptional talents? Yeah, that's true. Right? Ajita's exceptional talent to listen to other people. Right? Somebody who goes through very low phase of their life, we're feeling so sad, depressed. He'll go there, just listen to the person. He'll just listen. And the person feels the healing. This is Ajita's strength. It's amazing quality of compassion. So, how come there's some people have this? Some people so impatient, right? Oh, I come to help you. Speak, right? Other person, then the person even more down. Even more. No, speak. I come to help you, right? And you don't know how to listen, right? Speak now. Tell me what problem you have. Unless you speak, how will I know that you have a problem, right? And then the person goes deeper in depression. So better not go if you don't know how to listen, right? Okay. So some people, they don't have the skills. Some people, they're born with such a skills. So how? His Holiness the Dalai Lama at such a young age 6, 7, 8, from the palace, he was looking down. He could see the butchers carrying the animals, taking the animals. He knows that these are the butchers. He will send somebody to buy all the cattle. As a little boy, he was doing that. So all these, how come that the genius are born? How come? It's all the practice from the past lives, right? Practice from the past life, not only sonam, right? Sonam is the support to make it stable. For example, Messi, if he dies, right, and he takes birth again as a human being, where the football is popular, he'll become again second another Messi, 100%, because of his past training. And don't think that I'm a fan of Messi, right? So some people who are Ronaldo, they are not too happy with Messi, right? Okay, so this is a reality. I'll tell you one thing. Professor Francisco Varela, who is a genius biologist, neuroscientist, and a natural philosopher. Genius. I remember when I was just age 23, 24, I first met my teacher, Venerable Geshe. Then he, knowing that I'm from science background, then he would share with me that his encounter with the first Mind Life conference when his sons, they asked him to come. And then he would say that there was one scientist, young scientist, he's really intelligent. So later I came to know it is Professor Francisco Varela, extremely intelligent. So he died, he passed away very early, must be 60 or 62, he passed away. Then the people were making a document film about him. And they came to interview His Holiness, because His Holiness had a very close friendship with him. And then Professor Francisco, brilliant scientist, a brilliant philosopher, natural philosopher I should say, that he is extremely skeptical with all the things. Even with his own medical treatment, he was going through cancer. I think liver cancer. Then the doctor said, you have to undergo surgery. The question that he asked is that, what guarantee can you give me if I do the surgery? If I go through surgery, what guarantee will you give me that I will live longer? And the doctor said, no, I cannot give any guarantee. Then he said, why should I have to go through another pain? He did not go through surgery. Then the matter came to His Holiness' attention. His Holiness came to know about it. His Holiness sent a message to him, Francisco Varela, better you do the surgery. On the spot, he signed up. This is the amount of the confidence that he had on His Holiness, being a brilliant, the neuroscientist, very skeptical person, not even, unless a sound reason is given by the doctors, he's not really listened to them. He rather prefers to die rather than go through surgery. But when it comes to His Holiness, he just, without any question, he signed up for the surgery. And then next year, he came for the Mind Life conference. He was so weak. The first thing, and I was there in this conference, the first thing that he mentioned to His Holiness is that, Your Holiness, why I'm here today is because of your advice for me to undergo the surgery. I did it, and I survived now. It's because of your advice. Had it not been for your advice, I would not have gone through surgery, and today I would not be alive. I could not have seen you today. This is what he said. This is amazing. So what I'm saying is that, so he passed away, and then the people were making a documentary film on him. And so they came to His Holiness to do interview with His Holiness. And then His Holiness was asked, they asked His Holiness, Your Holiness, where do you think that Professor Francisco Varela has taken birth? Where? And His Holiness said that His Holiness was very practical and extremely scientific, because the audience of Professor Francisco Varela, they are all scientists. They will not believe in rebirth. So His Holiness did not say that he will take birth this. What he said is that if there is a birth, if you are happy to accept rebirth, then he will come again as another scientist. This is what His Holiness said. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that this is training that he went through, right? For example, say, Brother Yo, right? Tomorrow, he has if you have any law, right? Say, what do you call it? Matters of the law. You want to know something about law? Tomorrow, you look for Brother Yo, Brother TBO, and you ask him, how come that he will know tomorrow? Because what tomorrow Brother Yo is a result of today's Brother Yo. Today's Brother Yo, he is expert in law. This is his profession. You're getting it? So tomorrow you can just go to him, because what he will be tomorrow is the result of what he's today. You're getting it? So tomorrow is the result of today. What is today? Something of this similar will go tomorrow. So he'll be so good in law tomorrow also. So if somebody is good in football, which means that in the past life there's some, not everybody becomes say Ronaldo or Messi, right? Only few. How come that only few? Because of their early practice. Only one Jesus Milarepa, one Lama Tsongkhapa, one His Holiness Dalai Lama, only one. Why? Because these are the ones who put so much effort in the past lives. Now they become who they are today. And the next life also, they'll come like this, the next life. Okay. So the point is that is not about this life. It's about the practice from the previous life. Without which you will end up with so many contradictions, randomness. With the randomness, you will end up in so much internal contradictions. You getting it? Okay. To give a very simple example, which college? JNU. TNEU. AU. TNAU. You did undergrad. You did undergrad. Okay. First year, second year, third. You complete third year.
No, he has finished engineering, agriculture engineering.
Graduated. So you graduated. Okay. So what I'm saying is that when you were in the third year, so you did the first year, second year, third year, TNAU. First year, second. And suddenly there's one person who joined TNAU third year directly without the first and second year. Right? How come? That he, joins it directly without going through the first 2 years. The person did the first 2 years in the Harvard University. Possible or not possible? Of course it's possible. You're getting it? Of course possible. But you say, how come that without doing first, second year, directly third year, and he's doing so good? Right? Simply you have not seen what of his background. He came from the Harvard University or somewhere, other Delhi University, wherever. You're getting it? Because of family, because of his father's mother must be a professor, moved to TNAU, so moved there. So these are the past. Okay, good.